Vitale Wealth Management, here with the Gradient Investments Weekly Market Update for the week as of May 28th, 2024. So let's talk about the markets. Were mixed last week. The U.S. growth outperformed the value counterparts, partly as a result of positive trends from artificial intelligence beneficiaries. The S&P 500 was positive, while the Dow and the U.S. small caps, Russell 2000, were negative. Both the 2-year and 10-year U.S. Treasury yields were higher last week as the Fed market commentary and economic data suggested an extended time before the U.S. Federal Reserve cuts rates. I don't think we're going to get a cut at all this year. As a result, the U.S. aggregate bond index was down for the week and remains down year to date. Interest rates up, bond values down, still hasn't recovered there. Let's talk about the upcoming economic release. Consumer confidence data will be released on Monday, followed by personal consumption expenditures, which is the PCE, on Friday. Both will be examined to get better information on how consumers are feeling and acting given continued elevated inflation. I think we're starting to see that people are not happy. It is hurting. The inflation is still there. It's not transitory. It's hurting. So about the market outlook, NVIDIA earnings report show that spending on artificial intelligence research and product development continues to be a high priority. While we would expect this level of growth is unsustainable over long term, there is little doubt that AI is where the highest allocation to enterprise technology spending is being directed. And of course, the stock is well over 1,000 now. On the economic front, our stance at Gradient is now for 0 to 1 interest rate cuts by to the end of 2024. May not happen, maybe one. The belief is that consistent. We don't believe the Fed will take action until they see evidence of controlled inflation or see signals of economic deterioration that will require support. We do not believe that this current situation, and we don't expect any near-term action as a result. We're not going to see it. Inflation is still hot. They're not going to cut rates. If they cut rates, inflation is going to go higher. How about recent activity? As far as the Gradient portfolios, there was no changes to the portfolios. A lot of times, every quarter, they rebalance to make sure that they're in line. Let's talk about the stocks in the news. We did mention NVIDIA, which is owned in the Core Select and G33. Released earning data last week that beat expectations. Crazy. Reported revenues of $26 billion, up 262% from 1 year ago. Also, Target, which is owned in the Core Select, reported earnings that beat expectations on revenue, but were slightly below expectations on earnings, and sales declined 3.7% for the year over year, with weakness in discretionary categories, but somewhat offset by the growth in the beauty products. So that's about it for this week. Not a whole lot to cover. Just everybody keeps saying, my gosh, what's going on? The market's been doing really, really good this year, but we did see at least a 5 to 6% pullback already. It has been down for the last few days. Why? Because the market was inflated on rate cuts. Everybody thought we were going to get 5 rate cuts this year. We're not going to get any, and it's starting to digest that. The market's starting to realize that. So we're going to see the volatility continue. A lot of times our value portfolio, which is the G50, hasn't really done a whole lot because the value is not really performing. It's the growth that's performing, but not the small caps. Primarily, it's all the AI that's going crazy. Best scenario, keep broadly allocated. We've got a little bit of each portfolio. We've got our actively managed. We also have the guaranteed components and the annuities. Make sure we've got safe money available at all times. So that's it for this week. God bless you. We hope to see you again next week. We're in June already, so can't believe it. Want to make sure that all of you have hopefully had a wonderful Memorial Day holiday as we remember all those who fought for our country and gave their lives for our country. So God bless you. We'll see you again next week.